In John 15, Jesus uses a illustration and an analogy to describe the Christian life and describe Christians' relationship to Him. In that chapter, Jesus says a very provocative thing. He said, "I am the vine, and you are the branches." And then he went on to say that the relationship between you and me is like the relationship between a tree and a branch. If the branch abides in the tree, the branch will have power and life and bear fruit. But if the branch connected to the tree but not abiding in the tree, meaning connected on the exterior but not the interior, not vitally connected but just externally connected, then you will have no life in you and you will bear no fruit, and eventually you will be broken off and burned in the fire. In doing this, Jesus is making a distinction among Christians to say, and among believers in the Old Testament and the New Testament to say, that a Christian is really one who is internally, vitally, when I use the word vital, I mean in a life-giving way, vitally connected to Him. He uses other illustrations as well to describe the same thing. He says that it's like a relationship between a husband and the bride where both they cleave to one another on the exterior, but then they are made one flesh on the interior. They become one thing. In the same way that we see Eve taken from the rib of Adam so that they are of one flesh. He says that he, as the groom, and us as the bride are vitally connected to each other. He uses another illustration, the relationship between a head and a body. And he said Christians are like the body that are vitally connected to the head. You cut the head off and all the limbs die. All the life comes from the head. He uses one other illustration to say that he is the chief cornerstone of a building. When he described that, if you pulled a cornerstone back then out of a building, the whole building would collapse. It was all built on the cornerstone. He eventually brings it to full fruition in the Gospels when he says, "Unless you eat my flesh and drink my blood, you can have no part of me." What he's doing there is describing the relationship between himself and his people. We really are not Christians by going to church or being externally connected to Christ or to the church or to Christendom. That's not what makes a Christian. A Christian is one who is internally connected to Christ, where the heart has been changed, the affection of the heart has been brought to life, and God, by the power of the Holy Spirit, has created this affection in us for Christ in a kinship covenant connection. The word covenant actually means a seal or a relationship, rather, that is sealed in blood. It means blood kinship, much like when you would think of two kids who wanted to be blood brothers, and they would cut their palms and put their palms in each other's hands to say, "My blood is in you and your blood is in me. We are brothers. We are kinship." In that same way, Jesus has called us his own. He has put himself in union with us. Now, oftentimes in modern Christianity, we don't talk about this very much. We talk about Christianity in terms of political affiliation, in terms of what church you belong to, external things that we do. And yet Christ does not make that accent at all. That's not what he describes as people who belong to him. He says, "My people hear my voice. They know me and I know them." And so this union with Christ is a teaching in Christianity that many are seeking to recover, because it is the hub of the gospel, that Christ sent his Son to us to rescue us and to invite us into his family. Christianity then is not a commitment where we make a commitment to God and then keep that commitment. It's a miracle where Christ has come to us, not that we have gone to him. And it's a miracle that he has worked in our hearts by his word, by the power of the Holy Spirit, by his work, living a perfect life, dying a perfect death, and conquering our sin, and then putting himself in relationship with us. And so, the book I would like to read for you talks about this union with Christ, this John 15, vine and branches, head and body connection, bride and groom connection, brother to sister, king to citizen connection that Jesus has with us and that we have with him through the miracle of salvation. So that's what we're going to try to recover in this book. It's a book called Union with Christ, and it's by Rankin Wilbourne. And so I'll be reading the book from the first person of Rankin Wilbourne. Every now and then I may put in some thoughts of my own, but mostly it will all come from him.